Good morning and welcome to Ag Talk on the Raw, where I talk raw about agriculture and other things that are on my mind. Well, today it's cold, which is what I've been hoping for. It's like, I think it's 25 degrees, maybe 29 degrees, but let me take a quick peek here because I can ask Siri. What's the temperature outside?
It's 28 degrees outside.
28 degrees outside. Okay, so it's 28 degrees outside. If it would stay at 28 degrees for like 3 days, things would start to get really cold and freeze up. But it's not going to do that. It's going to get up into the 40s today, so, it's a start. This really cold weather that is or frosty weather is going to kill back the hay that is actively growing. It'll just burn it right back down to the ground, which in turn will cause it to dry. It will dry standing. So the funny thing about making hay in the wintertime is it's a lot faster than making hay in the summertime. Yeah, you're probably thinking, what? You fucking crazy. No, I'm not crazy. I've done this before. I've been in this business for 20 years now. I bought my baler in February. The first baler I bought in February of 1998. So in the summer of 1998, I made my first mulch hay for the mushroom industry. I made a whole... Christ, I think I made like 250 bales and thought I was getting rich, at $70 a ton. Oh, God, the days. I actually have footage of my original baler being pulled behind the 5020. I should probably go downstairs and burn that to DVD and get it uploaded onto YouTube because I think you guys would get a kick out of it. You'll see Timothy as a little baby. And my ex-wife, she was there taking the films and how I was just skinny. Oh, my God, I am not fat by any means. I know somebody said I had man boobs. It's just the way I sat in the chair, guys. I'm not chiseled, but I'm not fat, for Christ's sakes. But anyway, and you can ask anybody that's actually met me in person. They'll say, no, that man's not fat. So, but anyways, good luck to y'all. Oh, what was I going to say? So this hay in frozen weather is going to make things a lot easier, just like the guys that haven't gotten their corn and soybeans off. Soybeans are a pain in the ass to harvest in the mud, and it has been extraordinarily wet. I mean, we're closing in on 60 inches of rain, which is unheard of on the East Coast. In the 10-year average, we're 14 inches above what 14 inches above what we would normally get, on average. So anyway, whatever is what it is. But to make this hay, it's going to be easier because it freeze dries. You ever remember the freeze dried coffee commercials? Oh, freeze dried coffee, meaning the crystallized Folgers coffee used to come in a vacuum sealed brick. I always thought they were cool as hell because my mom would buy those, when I was a kid. I'd be like, you can barely squeeze these things to break them, but you poke a hole in them and they go, whoo, because they were vacuum sealed, which was really cool. In my mind, when I was 12 or 13 years old, that was the coolest thing you could come up with was a brick of freeze-dried, vacuum-sealed coffee brick. It made a lot of room in your cabinet because back in the day when I was a young man, there were coffee shortages, believe it or not. This was before Dunkin' Donuts was really known for their coffee. Starbucks was not even a thing. And these bagel smiths were throughout the country. If I believe, at least the East Coast, the bagel smiths were, and you could get coffee at those places. But coffee got really expensive, and they kind of came out with a coffee brick later, so that you could stock them up in your shelves. And in case there's another coffee shortage, old Juan Valdez, he was the lazy bastard that wasn't picking the coffee beans fast enough. You could stack them up and they'd stay fresh forever. Because that's what they said. Anyway, so yesterday we had a snow squall go through. I kind of lost it a little bit. You can check that out on One Lonely Farmer channel. I didn't really lose it. It's just you got to laugh at things sometimes. And snow falling from the sky is no laughing matter when you have over 2,000 acres of hay to make. But, snow melts. So if it fell, it would melt pretty quickly, and, it will actually help cool the earth because the ground is warm yet, and it's insulated by 2.5 to 3 tons of hay to the acre. Yes, 2.5 to 3 tons of hay to the acre. I have hay all over the freaking place. I got hay mowed, and I probably will be able to bale today up on this one farm. I'll get some footage of that a little later. I'm hoping I can bale today. If not, I'm just going to choke it through the baler anyway. I don't give a shit. You just at the point where you're like, you know what? I don't give a shit. Let's just do it and get it on a truck in a month, and off it'll go. So, yeah, it has to be in a bale for about a month. But this is dead standing stuff, so probably won't even have to be that long. But, yeah. So, anyway, yeah. So, how's the harvest going out west, where you guys are harvesting, or even in New Jersey? I know I do have some New Jersey fans that do harvest corn and soybeans. How's it going? You can leave the comments, below, and let me know how you're making out. I know I'm at wit's end with it. I do have some upcoming news and some upcoming things that you'll see on the One Lonely Farmer channel to help me get this shit done in a faster fashion. I hope I can get it done. If the weather's right, I'm gonna have 2 mowers mowing, a rake raking, and 2 balers baling, and maybe 3 balers baling. If I can get 3 balers in the field. Yes, 3 balers. You heard me right. And the second baler is going to be something like this color, but not quite. So, yeah, the third baler would be that color. Not quite, though. It's a little different green, just a little different green. I'm just waiting on a couple of things that need to get done. So, but anyway, yeah, with that being said, winter projects are just winter projects. The bulldozers or the 955 is not on the winter project list. Just not doing it. Excuse me. The only winter project that I have to get done this winter is to get that goddamn hay made. Excuse my language. And yeah. So I'm gonna read a couple of comments here and just try to get back to my followers and viewers here. Most of these are probably political, so I'm going to sift through those. Okay, I just seen a deer mower with LSW tires on. Not sure how they work, but man, they were huge. I don't know. The tires on the mower are just going to stay the same. I can't add anything to them to really gain anything, so I'm not going to bother. It's just an expensive failure. I could see it happen. I would guess you're going to be closer to the coast. If you are bailing on that flat of ground in North Carolina, closer to CLT would be way too hilly for the 7810 and a Chrome. You'd want brakes for that for sure. Be interested to see if you're going where I think you are, though. I'm going to very flat ground in North Carolina, yes. Separation of church and state was written in letters by Thomas Jefferson. The only thing in the Constitution is that the government shall not have a national religion like England did. Many of our forefathers came for religious freedoms because they did not want to practice the Church of England. I agreed. Yes, separation of church and state. Now, let me finish reading this man's comments, because this is THR 8061. I don't know what that means, but after the Civil War, many blacks won local, state, and national elections in the South because most of the white men were killed off by the Civil War, and there were more black men than white men in the South. I don't know about that. The Dems of the South started putting in poll taxes. Blacks were poor. Writing tests, most of the slaves could not because it was illegal to teach them. There was no blacks allowed. They couldn't even vote in the United States at that time. I think you're full of shit. And if you're not full of shit, I'd like to see it, because I thought that's what the civil rights movement was all about. Allowing blacks to vote, women to vote, equal rights and opportunities in the United States of America, which they were granted in the 60s. The only reason black people think that they're held back at this point is because they've been taught that. I mean, this is the land of equal opportunity, the land of the free, home of the brave, free to think and free to do, not land of the free where we give you everything like welfare and shit like that. So, you can go back to that. Okay, let's see. All right, so let me get back to this. And the Dems of the South started putting in poll taxes. Blacks were poor. Writing tests, most of the slaves could not because it was illegal to teach them. That is true. And other Jim Crow laws. If you look at Congress debates over the 14th, both sides said that a person from outside our country was still partially beholding to their home country jurisdiction and partially under our laws. The Supreme Court of the United States already ruled way back then about this. Alan Dershowitz, crazy liberal but smart lawyer, stated this. Stated this. The Constitution can be added and removed from. The 18th A was passed to make alcohol illegal. The 21st A was passed to repeal the 18th Amendment. So yes, you can. Yes. So I believe that the 14th Amendment, this is what he's talking about. The 14th Amendment was written to override the 13th Amendment where there were some mistakes made in the 13th Amendment. So the 14th Amendment today is quite outdated for and what it is being interpreted to mean today was not what it was written for back in 1866 or 1867. So honestly, we may need to amend the U.S. Constitution to override or not override, but to fine-tune the 14th Amendment. That could be something that should be done. And it's really quite simple. You can have the exact same amendment with a few simple words added, like if you're illegal and you have a child, you are not a citizen of the United States of America, nor is that child. It just doesn't cut it. If you come here legally, whether it be a work visa or even a traveling visa, maybe you'd be allowed to have dual citizenship, maybe. But in order to get a dual citizenship in the United States, now we're talking the child, we're not talking the parents. A dual citizenship in the United States means you have to denounce the citizenship of the country of origin, and then you can go back to the country of origin to get that dual citizenship from your country of origin. The United States does not allow you to just say, hey, the United States is my second home, I'm a dual citizen. No, you have to actually denounce your citizenship of your former country of origin and then become an American citizen. At the point you become an American citizen, you have denounced. Then you can go to that embassy of that country of origin and say, hey, I would like to have dual citizenship because I have interests there, like family and property, because most countries outside of the United States do not allow foreigners to own property. And you can ask me how I know this because it's sleeping in the room right behind me. And I kind of went through that with her, which is a beautiful thing. I cannot become a dual citizenship without denouncing my citizenship to the United States. And I'm not about to ever do that. So, yeah. All right, the political ads are getting, thank God the elections are over. The blue wave was more like blue tickle my toes. There was no wave. It was just like a bloop, and it kind of went back out. Yes, they won the House, but they didn't win the Senate, and that's what they were hoping to do. And they were hoping to win the House by huge, hundreds of seats, or tens, 10, 20 seats. They didn't get there. I think 20 seats is what they were looking for. But, yeah, too bad. Anyway, and that's okay. I kind of have to sit back and look at the way everybody does. You have to look at the way the way the country is run. When you have a House majority and a Senate majority, or this House and Senate majority, and your president is all of the same party, it's basically a free-for-all. There is, hey, I want this, they pass it. Boom. There it is. Good things and bad things have happened from this. Like in the Obama era. We ended up with the Affordable Health Care Act when Nancy, the fucking cadaver Pelosi, stands up and says, well, we're just going to have to pass it before you know what's in it. Well, wasn't that a ram up the ass with a freaking hot piece of steel? I mean, come on. The Affordable Health Care Act is a it's a joke. It really shouldn't even have happened. Yeah, should never even happen. But you know what? That's what happens when you have a House majority, a Senate majority, and a president of the same party in charge. Anything can get passed at any time. So, with the House being in control of the Democrats, not that I like that, but it's not the worst thing in the world, because now they really, truly have to work hard to get shit passed. They are going to have to reach their bony, spiny, slimy little hands across the aisle and say, hey, you know, we really do need a border wall, which the president could have had that. They could have had that funded a long time ago, but I really don't think they want, I don't think they want the border wall. I really don't. Neither side, because you know what? They're potential voters. They are potential voters. If you come across illegally and you get a driver's license, you can sign up to be a voter. Yeah, even as an illegal, they don't fucking care, especially in this state. It's like, hey, Democrats are going to give us all amnesty. We're going to be able to vote for that Democrat. Thank you, Frank. Thank you. And then we'll drag all of our family members up across the border also because, you know, why not? It's free here. Yay! You know, that sort of stuff. I don't think they want the wall. I want the wall. I want the wall to be a deadly, deadly wall. You touch that motherfucker, you are a fried bat. That's it. Done. Pfft, done. You fall to the ground. They come. They scrape up your ashes. That's how hot I want that thing. I want 7,500 volts coursing through there. Oh, yeah. And about 1,000,000 amps. That's what I want. Pfft, and then just ashes. They'll stop coming. Or they will actually go to ports of entry. This is an amazing thing. All across the southern border, there are ports of entry. Right? Like, big gate. Donald Trump's talked about them. Hey, come to our port of entry. Fill out the paperwork. Tell us your problems. Tell us what you're going to do. We'll let you in. You have to go home. If you don't go home, then, hello, we're going to come and get you. And we're going to send you back. And you're never coming back to the United States. So, what's the problem with that? Oh, it's inhumane. No, it's not. This is how you do it. You know, when I walk into a grocery store, the door opens for me. Welcome. Come buy your shit. You go down the aisles, right? You pick out the stuff you want. You go to the checkout. That's the way you do it. Oh, and you either pull out green stuff, green cash, you know, and you pay for your shit, and then you're allowed to leave, right? Or you go into the grocery store, you start stuffing shit in your shirt. They grab you. They detain you. They remove their stuff from your shirt. They have to throw it away because now it's contaminated by your slimy, scummy ass. And then they take you off to jail. And then they, you know, you stay there for a while. Boom. That is not the way to go grocery shopping, just like coming into the United States. Big wall. It has electric wires on it. Boy, should we touch those? Oh, no. Peligro. It's not good. Don't do that. Peligro. Electric. We kill you. You dead. Go to the gate. It's only 5 miles that way. You just traveled 1,500 miles. What's another 5 miles? No, that's no big deal. So they go to the gate. They don't want to go to the gate. They don't want to go to the gate. They don't want to go to the gate because they're A, criminals. B, have no real reason to be here. C, they're stupid. Just stupid. Whatever. That's my thoughts on immigration. Build the wall. Build the wall 10 feet taller. Build the wall 20 feet wide. Make it a 2-lane highway with gunships up there. You know, like, or cross-right. You can put a gun that goes either way, that overlap like this, so that when somebody does actually get up to the top, if they don't have the proper, like, I don't know, data tag on their person, cleanup crew, aisle 1. You know, I don't know. Hey, maybe I'm just a mean bastard. I'm not sure, but ay. there's got to be a way to get them to go through the gate legally instead of this just crossing a desert with people putting water and food out there so they don't starve to death or dehydrate and die. There's got to be a better way, and I think fear is a great motivator. I know Travis from the rest of the story, or his father said fear is a great motivator. He he was 100% correct. When you're scared of something, you steer clear of it. If there's a rattlesnake in front of you, are you going to step on it or are you going to go around it? So you're afraid of the rattlesnake, you go around it. Spider hanging from a tree, it's got big fucking fangs like this, it's going to get you in the neck. You're done. So you go around it. So if you make that big wall a big scary thing, like if I touch it, I'm going to die and turn to ashes, you're going to go around. You'll go down to the gate that says, hey, let me in, knock, knock. That kind of thing. But whatever. People don't listen to that. They don't care. Oh, yes. William is growing quite well. He's a boob-fed boy, man. That kid likes to eat. Food. Food. Give me food. Give me food. Food. Yep. That's what he does. Good boy. He's a good boy, too. He sleeps really well now. He sleeps with me and Mommy because we just love him so much. Okay. Let's see what else we got going on here. Wes, I'm watching your video now for approximately 4 minutes. I've had 2 political ads. I had to stop my viewing. Oh, don't worry, because guess what's going to happen now? I've been talking for 20 minutes, and I bet you've got 4 ads for Christmas. Merry Christmas. Spend your money. Give it to me. You can leave the store. Oh, yeah. I knew this. Immediately after the election was over, it's Merry Christmas. Thanks for giving a shit. Merry Christmas. That kind of stuff. They skip over Thanksgiving right to Christmas. I mean, ShopRite gives away a free turkey if you spend $400. $400? I think it's $400. Maybe it's $300. I don't know. So Teresa's been spending money at ShopRite to get that free turkey. I like the turkey, to be honest with you. Yeah. And I like Thanksgiving. I used to go hunting, small game hunting on Thanksgiving with my father, and sometimes with my sisters, and usually with a friend of mine. But now my dad's knees are bad, and I really need to kick his ass to go get his knees replaced so that he can actually walk again. Excuse me. If he can walk again, we can go hunting again. It'll be a lot of fun. So, yeah, that would be cool. But whatever. Okay, Nicholas Hay Farm. I had to laugh. The opening ad for this video is for grass-fed beef. I think you have some folks at YouTube hooking you up. Yeah, grass-fed beef. To me, grass-fed beef, I don't know. I'd rather suck on the end of a 45 than eat grass-fed beef. I mean, I'd have to be really, really hungry because grass-fed beef just doesn't cut it for me. I don't like it. I think it's like old shoe leather. So, yeah. But anyway, yeah. Hopefully everybody's wrapping up the corn harvest, bean harvest, and, looking to spring planting. I know I am. I've scouted several of my fields that are potential cornfields this coming year. Some of the wet weather has drowned out some portions of my hay fields. So those particular hay fields are going to get plastered with spent compost. Yes, spent compost. And mushroom soil, and then I'm going to plant corn on them. I'm looking at about 200 acres of corn. 200 acres of corn is what I'm going to attempt to get in the ground. It doesn't sound like a lot, but to get 200 acres of corn planted and all the fertilizer on the ground that needs to get on the ground for hay. Then to have 200 acres of corn planted, fertilized, sprayed, and ready to go for, the summer. Then to leave for 6 weeks. Yes, to leave for 6 weeks because I'm going to be baling straw 4 to 6 weeks. I'm sure I can do it in 4 weeks, but if I have to be there for 6 weeks, I'll be there for 6 weeks. We're going to get this shit done. And then to come back and go right into making the 3,000 plus acres of hay. Hopefully we don't get a rainy season like we did last year. Or this year, 2018. But you know what? At that point, the amount of money that I'll make on the job should be, it'd be okay. I'm okay. I'm okay with that. And that's just the way it is. So, yeah. Oh, boy. Yeah. That's it. I guess that's it for this one. I guess. I don't know. I mean, I guess we could talk about the shooting in North Carolina, or not North Carolina, in California. The shooting in California where that Marine or ex-Marine went in and killed 12 people. That's kind of sad. Of course, immediately people are saying, gun control, gun control. When the police show up to your house and there's a domestic dispute going on, and they just he didn't hit her. We'll just leave. But the guy is agitated and irate. At that point, he needs to be, I hate to say it, but this guy's an ex-Marine. They know this. When they ask his name, he's in the system by being an ex-Marine. He's in the system. So, being an ex-Marine, knowing that he was in Afghanistan and wherever else in the world he had been, they should at least take him in for psychiatric evaluation at the VA, just because if they don't, they're dropping the ball. I mean, this guy obviously had a screw loose because he went into a place and killed 12 people with a 45. I think it was a 45. But, good God. It's not the gun's fault. It isn't the gun's fault. I could see if this man was a lone wolf and nobody even knew that he had a problem, but people knew that he had a problem. So, whose fault is it? Is it the gun? I mean, this gun right here, it's there. This one's right here. That's a BB gun. Anyway, they're right here. They don't jump up and kill people. They're there for my protection. The BB gun isn't. That's just a BB gun that Teresa was cleaning up and she found it. I had taken it from one of the boys a few years ago, and it was in, I don't know where. I think it was on the shelf in there. But anyway, you can't blame the gun for this. If he was a lone wolf and nobody knew that he was like half baked and ready to go off, then fine. But still, it's not the gun's fault. I mean, if you wake up every single day and you go and you grab your Xbox 360 or your PlayStation or whatever, and your favorite game involves warfare and killing people repetitively or gaming, if you're a normal human being that doesn't have a mental problem, this is okay. You can go do this. Or you watch it on TV, every movie that comes out that involves Bruce Willis or Sylvester Stallone or any of these action type movies, they kill without consequence. I mean, they kill without consequence. When there's... I mean, it just baffles me that they have these Hollywood actors are out there and they're making movies where they're killing 25, 30, 40, 50, 100 people to make this movie. But then when something like this thing in California happens, they're like, how is that possible? We have to demonize the gun. Well, you glorify the gun in the movie, and then you get somebody who isn't quite stable that's like, let's just use the movie Die Hard. I like Die Hard. I really do like Die Hard. These guys, because he's a New York City cop, he can go out and kill 100 people on movie. And then shake the hands of the guy after the terrorist organization is dismantled. Shake the guy's hand and say, see you next time. And off they go. That's not how it works here. I'm sorry. You kill one person, you're going to jail till they figure out why you killed that person, whether you're a cop or not. So by glorifying the gun in these movies, and people do have their favorite shoot 'em up, bang 'em up movie, come on. And if you're not stable, you think you can do the same thing. In your mind, you think that, hey, those guys down at the Borderline Bar and Grill, I can go kill them because they wronged me. They demonized me. So I can just go down and kill a bunch of people down there and walk off. Maybe he didn't think he was going to walk off because he put a bullet in his head. But, still, you get the gist. So, and then, again, everybody knows the criminal's name. Everybody. It's like, I don't pay attention to his name. I know that he was a Marine. I know that he had the police at his place a month earlier. for domestic dispute. I know that something was wrong with him, so I am not going to say his name because he doesn't deserve the recognition. Every time they shoot up a school, we all know what the names of the shooter is. Does anybody know the names of the victims? Fuck no. They don't put the names of the victims up, but once they put them up in a list and say, these are the victims. So, but here's the guy that did it. He will go down in history as the guy that killed 50 people at a concert, or 12 people in a bar, or 25 children in a school. This is the guy. So when you got this guy who has no friends, has no life, he's not stable upstairs, he can't keep a job, he doesn't understand why nobody likes him because he's a left or right wing whack job. But there's this holy grail of recognition that he can do. And that is to go kill a bunch of people. Kill as many people as possible, because if he gets over that last number, like if there's 25 children that are killed in a school, if he gets 26, he will now be recognized as the person who killed more people in a school shooting than anybody else. And his name goes down like the Pearl Harbor in 1941. December 7th, 1941. You know what happened, because it's a date that will live in infamy. So they get this mentality. They're like, oh boy, here we are. You know what? I'm a low-life scumbag that has a gun, and nobody likes me, so I'm going to go. I'm going to die. I know I'm going to die either by my hand or the police, and I'm going to kill as many people as I can, whether I'm killing kids, cops, or people in a church. I mean, it's getting out of hand. The media runs with the name of the guy that did it, and they put it out there that this is the guy that did it. If they want to do something in Washington, D.C., make it a law. I mean, I would support this law. A gag order on the names of people that kill other people, or massacres. So if I was to load up and go down to the local school and kill 25 kids or 35 kids or 45 kids or as many kids as I can kill, because that's their MO, because they know that they're going to be plastered all over the news stations for months, which is more recognition that they would ever get in their entire lifetime, even though they're dead already. And, people, it doesn't matter. Make it a law. John Doe killed a bunch of kids. He is a nameless, faceless person that will be cremated, and his ashes will be dumped in a slurry pit with no marker. No one will ever know his name. Boom. Problem will go away. It really will. I firmly feel that these wackos are only killing a bunch of people just for that recognition of their name. That title of, I'm a massacreist. I will go in and I will kill as many as I can. You do that, and I don't guarantee it, but I can almost guarantee you that over the next 10 years, it either goes completely away or it slows to a trickle. Not 10 a year or 5 a year, but maybe 1 or 2 every 5 years. Because it's just going to be like, oh, to all these guys that aspire to do this, they're going to be like, that guy didn't get what I'm looking for, so fuck it, I'm not going to do that. And then instead of killing a bunch of other people, he puts a gun to his head and blows his own brains out. And then at least people can post a Facebook thing like, oh, if we only knew he was off the reservation, we could have helped that poor soul. And then only one person gets hurt. And nobody's going to give a shit about a gun in the hand of a suicidal idiot. They're just going to say, it's a shame he took a gun and blew his own brains out. In the end, 99% of these people die or kill themselves anyway. Stop using their names. Stop putting their faces out there. Gag the media. Get the media out of these murderers. Just get them away. Without the murderer, without anybody knowing what they look like or what they're doing or who they are, they're just, the minute the cops get there, You wrap that body in a black plastic bag so their face can't get out there. You don't give any information about who in the hell it was, and you burn up that worthless body and you throw it in the toilet. Done. Gone. No problem. No more problems. I can almost guarantee you it's that fucking simple. But you know what? That First Amendment is freedom of speech. But we can change that. I mean, I don't mind freedom of speech. I think it's a great thing. It allows me to come on here and speak my mind. But when it comes to somebody who has broken the law in such a magnitude where hundreds or even thousands of people are affected in a negative way because of this, and it just breeds more idiots to do the same thing so that they get that same recognition in their worthless lives, hey, you know what? I'm all for it. Gag them motherfuckers. If they're, hey, Barack Obama wouldn't even show photographs of Osama bin Laden because it would only spur hate. Well, if that's the only thing Barack Obama was good for, it was bringing attention to the fact that if you were to show the photographs of Osama bin Laden being dead, that the Muslim world would hate us even worse, which I don't think that's even possible. But it proved something. There was no real retaliation for killing that guy. If we would have glorified his face, which honestly, Osama bin Laden should have been, we should have saw every photograph of his mangled, warped body, just like we did with Saddam Hussein. Saddam Hussein and his sons. Those guys, we saw them. They were on TV. Oh, here they are. They're dead. So, somebody of that magnitude, yeah. A political assassin, yeah, he should go up on there. But kids, bars, churches, those guys, nameless, faceless, turds. Anyway, I've rambled on for probably 10 minutes about this because that's how I actually feel. And I think that would probably be a simple solution to at least slowing down these massacres. Give them no recognition. Arrest the people that are around him and prosecute them silently. Okay, this guy was in contact. This guy knew. The police officers that went to that guy's house a month or so ago, or whenever it was, and over that domestic abuse, or that call that there was something going on, they dropped the ball. Not the gun. The gun didn't drop the ball. They dropped the ball. They could have stopped this guy with just a simple, hey, we need to bring you in for psychiatric evaluation. I mean, if there is a domestic dispute, I don't care who you are, whether there's a gun in the house or not. If there's a domestic dispute, you need to go down to the police station and have a psychiatric evaluation done. If you are deemed nuts, then, sorry, pal, you need to have some extensive therapy or whatever, something. Anyway, whatever. I know we can't catch them all, but we can do a lot of things that would stem this problem. But anyways, that's it for Ag Talking to Raw. I know the last part had nothing to do with agriculture, but I know there's a lot of farmers out there that feel probably the same way that I do. We're a bunch of common sense kind of people out there. We see the problems in the world and we just go bang, bang, bang our head against a wall because there's simple solutions to complex problems, but nobody wants to go down those avenues because it doesn't generate any money. But whatever. Anyways, thanks for watching. Have a nice day.